guys, it's Sarah and I'm here with my second layout using my April Hip Kit. And this one is going to be about my husband and I, and it's just a nice picture that my mother-in-law took while we were in Florida over this past summer. So this is the one where I'm going to be using the crazy heart paper. It is pretty loud, but I really like the way that the layout turned out. It was kind of fun. It almost looks a little artsy to me, like almost mixed media-ish, even though I didn't use any mixed media products at all. So I like the way that it turned out. Okay, so this is the paper I'm talking about. So I used some black cardstock, and that's going to be my base. And then I'm using this really loud heart paper from Glitz, and that is from 2009. So I've had this paper for a very long time, and I'm happy that I finally went ahead and used it. So I'm just going to mount it on this black cardstock here. And as you can see, that is very loud paper, lots of colors, very bold. So I'm going to take some vellum and I'm going to cut it down by about 1/2 inch on each side or 1/4 inch on each side. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the actual heart paper. So I'm going to put that down here in a second. But I am following a sketch here from Ready Sketch Go from the, I think it's from the second volume, volume 2. And so I'm going to use that here as well. So I'm cutting this paper here at a diagonal. I'm going to make a diagonal strip of this paper to kind of help me make a base and to help kind of break up that paper a little bit. So I drew some lines. This is about a 4-inch wide strip, and I had to cut it in an angle, and I needed to measure because otherwise I would have not cut it at the right angle at all. So I'm going to place it on top here. And I'm kind of putting it where I want it to go so that I can go ahead and get my vellum stuck down, and I want to make sure my adhesive is underneath where this paper is going to be so that it doesn't show through. And I like the way that looks. I do need to trim it down a little bit just to make it a little more even. And I like that. So I want a little bit more separation here, so I'm going to go ahead and take my pen and I'm just going to do a little double outline along this paper here. And that paper is from Ellie Studio, and it's kind of like a green floral. And to give it a little bit more separation, I'm going to use this really thin Amy Tangerine glitter washi tape, and it completely stuck up on me, but it came apart pretty easy. But it was so funny. Okay, so I'm going to use that along the top and the bottom here. And that really helps separate it a whole lot more. And this bottom part was tricky for me. I could not get it to like go under evenly, and I had to play with it a little bit here. Luckily, washi tape comes off pretty easy if you make any mistakes or anything. It's pretty forgiving. As you can see, I'm just trying to get it straight. I'm probably going, come on. Okay, and that really helps to separate the two papers there. And I'm leisurely sipping my coffee. All right, so I'm also going to use some of these Pink Fresh Studio transparent words, and I'm going to just kind of grab a few. I want them to not be the doubled up words. I want them to be like just the one straight word. So I'm trying to figure out what else I want to use here. But I have best and love and happy and sweet and real. I think I'm going to use that fab that's sitting here, and then I put story there as well. So I'm going to use those along that slanted angle there. And I'm just kind of going through the kit and seeing what else I want to use. I know I want to use a bunch of those rub-ons and the letters for my title, and then I have some of those rubber stickers as well. All right, so in order to put these down, I'm going to go ahead and run these through my little handheld Xyron. And I got this at Hobby Lobby a while ago, and I've really been using it a lot. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. But it literally is a sticker maker, so you put whatever you want in there and then run it through. So I'm putting all these words down, and you have to kind of rub it to make sure the adhesive gets on the back, but it fully backs whatever you put in there and makes it a sticker. And then you cannot see the adhesive through. So it's really good for transparencies and for vellums. If you have like transparent die cuts and stuff. The trick is it is pretty small, so it has to be something that will fit in there. So I've tried to put stuff in there that was just too big and it wouldn't work. But for these little things like this, it's perfect. And you really cannot see the adhesive at all, so it's fantastic. And then one more here. And I think the story one, I pretty much cover up almost completely with my picture, but it's okay. I think a little bit peeks out on the side, so it still made sense for me to put it there, even though I cover most of it up. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and work on my title, and I just grabbed a piece of wax paper here because I want to make sure it's going to fit. And it's just going to be me and you. I'm not even going to do any journaling on this layout because I don't really have a story behind this picture. It's just me and my husband. And so I'm just going to let it be. So I put me and you using those pink Fresh Studio puffy letter stickers. And I think I'm watching a show. What was I watching this week? Oh, I was watching The Ranch on Netflix. It's a comedy, and it has Sam Elliott and Ashton Kutcher in it, and Danny Masterson, and it's really funny, you guys. It's very, it's literally about like a ranch and a family that owns the ranch and their sons. It's so funny. Very adult, so adult humor and adult language and stuff, but oh my gosh, it's hilarious. And I think there's 2 seasons on Netflix right now, and a third. They got renewed for a third as well, so that hasn't been on yet, but I finished it up this week. It was really funny. Sam Elliott is fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to use a whole bunch of these Amy Tangerine rub-ons here, and I like the fact that I can have a big bold paper and the vellum to soften it up, and then I can use rub-ons on top of that. You can still see the rub-ons clearly, and it doesn't distract from the hearts, and then the rub-ons, the hearts don't distract from the rub-ons either. So you can see both, and it makes sense. Normally I probably wouldn't think that it would, but it does. It turned out looking really good. So I'm using some florals here. I used a floral underneath my title. I'm going to use this floral here underneath the picture. So one thing about these rub-ons, I don't love them. I've had issues with the rub-ons from the Amy Tangerine lines, and it's not her. Like, the rub-ons are wonderful, the designs are wonderful, but the quality of them are not that great, and that's, you know, that's the manufacturer, that's American Crafts. But I've had issues with them coming off on my fingers a lot. Like, I had quite a few little smudges on my fingers just because I accidentally rubbed my finger on them when I was trying to get them out of the package. And they rubbed off okay. They weren't fit, you know, they weren't like a dream to rub off, but you know, they pretty much came off nicely. But I did have a few things on my fingers, and a few of them just have little spots, like that one right there has a little spot on the bottom. It's not terribly, like, you know, catastrophic, but it kind of bothered me, you know, when I was trying to get them off and they were coming off of my fingers. That bothered me. Okay, so I'm using this little rubber sticker that says "All Mine" with an arrow pointing down. I put that over my husband because he's 9. And then I used my tiny attacher, and I put a couple staples along the vellum along the outside just because it was starting to kind of lift off a little bit. And I think I'm going to do the other 2 sides as well here soon. But I'm using more of this Amy Tangerine skinny tape. One of them has like X's and O's on it, and then one says love over and over and over again in different colors. So I'm going to use a little bit on each side there. And I just know I want to use up a ton of these rub-ons and just, you know, really start using them. So I'm going to start getting all the sentiments that I want. You know, there's one that says "Better Together" right there. And it also says something else. Is it "Just Us"? Yeah, "Just Us." So I'm going to go ahead and rub these 2 sentiments along down here. So "Better Together" and "Just Us." And part of the word better came off of my finger as well, part of that B, so I was getting angry. And then another one right here that says other half. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here as well. So I'm literally just kind of making a little collage of rub-ons here. And then I have some of these hearts, or actually, oh, I'm going to do that love there. I forgot I did that. Do that little gold love. And then a lot of these hearts here I'm going to put along the transparent letters. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub all these off. And then that floral there I'm going to go ahead and put underneath this one. And that one up there says life is better with you. And like I said, I'm not going to do any journaling. I'm just going to kind of let this speak for itself. It's just a fun little kind of artsy-ish looking layout, and I really like the way it turned out, and that's going to be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you guys use the Amy Tangerine rub-ons and what your experience with them is, if you guys have the same issues. All right, I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.